or there is an end to that. When there is an end, there is an end, of course. If there is an end, then you cannot ask who created that creator.
Oh, what about a beginning, not an end?
No. The beginning. We're going backwards.
Oh, right. Yes.
Our universe is here. At one point, our universe wasn't here.
Yes.
But it was created by an originator.
The creator.
Yeah, creator.
Yes.
So if you want to go by who created this creator,
Exactly.
someone else.
Yes.
Another one.
Another creator. Where did he come from?
Another one.
Who created him?
Yeah. Okay.
Who created the first creator?
No. Let's go back to this questioning. If you keep on questioning who created that creator, that created that creator.
The first creator.
No. What do you mean by the first creator?
The first creator ever. Who created him?
No. If
Where did he come from?
I am going to demonstrate that from this universe, right?
It's very simple, bro.
Oh, thank you.
The first cause has to be uncreated, otherwise it's not the first cause. Simple. The first cause of everything has to be uncaused. Because if it's caused, it's not the first cause. That's the answer. It's very simple.
So that's where we come from. That's who made us.
The first cause, look, think about that. Whatever the first cause is, has to be uncaused. If it's also caused, it's not the first cause. You understand? So if you get your brain around the fact that whatever was responsible for bringing everything into being, that first cause has to be eternal, always existed. Otherwise, it's not the first cause. You have to go back to what the first cause was.
Which is what?
Which is the first cause. Uncaused. Which is uncaused. That's logic. That you can't escape the logic there. The logic for the thing that brought everything into being has to be uncaused. That's why it's the first cause.
That's the first cause.
Yes.
Uncaused.
Yes.
Uncaused.
It has to be. Has to be. It has to be. Otherwise, it's not the first cause. It's a very simple, very simple way to look at
That's
things.
where we come from. The first cause, which is uncaused. Uncaused. This is why when the Quran says, say, He is Allah, the one and only, the independent, the absolute. To Him everything, everyone seeks Him. The one beside of all. This originator. The one who is not born, the one who doesn't produce offspring, the one with, there's no comparison with Him or co-equal with Him.
He's always been there.
Always been there. Yeah. That's how the Quran describes this one cause. So you agree with this, so you can no longer call yourself an atheist because that's what the Quran tells you to believe, and you believe in it. But you believe in that too. You believe in that too. You believe there's an originator. You believe this originator has will. You believe the originator is conscious. You believe the originator has energy. You believe the originator is uncaused. You believe the originator is eternal. That's what the Quran describes this originator. And it names this originator as most beautiful names. Allah, Ar-Rahman, and so on.
This originator, because is a figment of your imagination.
No, but hold on a second. If you deal with things logically, Mansour said that there's a few things that you agree with. Do you actually agree with those things? Because you did say that you did, to be honest.
Right, can I say something? Can I come in? Give you a rest?
Of course.
If what you're saying is right, if it is right, every one of these religious groups around here would say his originator is the original one.
Very good question.
Yeah?
Okay.
And that your religion is wrong and his religion is right. And everybody else's religion is wrong, his religion is right.
That's a very good
So
question.
how do you know which is the right?
Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No.
Mansour, you go ahead.
Okay.
They all say everyone else
Right.
is wrong except theirs.
Okay.
That's an excellent
It is
question.
an
Mansour will
excellent question. Okay, what we say is this. The fact that there is only one originator, only one, there can be only one. Do you agree? Do you agree? There can only be one. Okay, let me tell you why there can be only one. Do you drive?
Yeah.
Okay. If I modify your car with two independent steering wheels and controls, you sit on the left or the right? Are you an American car or English car?
No, English car.
English car. So I drive on the other side, right?
Yeah. You got the left side, I got the right side.
And we sit there and we are independent of each other.
Yeah.
I don't listen to you. I don't have to listen to you because that's what it means
You've got your own
independent.
steering wheel. Yeah.
I've got my own control. I want to take the car to Leeds, that's north.
Yeah.
And you want to take the car to somewhere south.
South. Brighton.
Where's the car going to go?
Brighton. Not bigger than you.
Nice state for Brighton.
Good. If the car goes to Brighton, then I failed miserably to take it to the north, right?
But as soon as my back's turned, you're going to go to Leeds, aren't you?
Wait. At the same time, when we are deciding on a matter, on an affair, if we have two independent entities like ourselves, you can't have both of the things happening at the same time.
no.
Right. If likewise there was a creator, more than one creator, more than one originator,
It wouldn't
and
work. It wouldn't work.
the world will be in a chaos.
Yeah.
One of the creators says, originator says, I want to live for another 35 years. And another one says, I want you to die straight away right now.
Yeah.
They can't both do it.
Both can't correct at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah?
Exactly. Right. So when the Quran says, had there been, we'll talk again. We'll talk again. Yeah. Take care. Take care.
What's your name? Sorry. What's your name?
I cannot tell you.
It's all right. You take care.
Let's just say Frank.
You got your photograph anyway.
Oh, don't do that. I thought we're supposed to be the ones that do that.
Oh, you're God.
Listen,
Okay.
what I'm going to say to you is,
Okay, we'll continue this one.
what I'm going to say to you is, when you've had a conversation like this, look, when you've had a conversation like this, yeah, when we've had a conversation like this, rather than it just be a bit of entertainment, I hope that we can ponder on
Makes
what
you
we've
think
heard.
about things.
Yes, just think about things. You know, look, even a young child, a 1-year-old.
I started talking to this gentleman here, didn't I? Come here, I started talking to him, he walked away, he wouldn't listen to me.
Hey, I was with you.
Look, you meant to get his camera.
We wanted his camera, so I went something is that,
He wanted to record, so that's
Okay,
why,
look,
yeah?
even
And I told you to come with me.
you did, you went talking to somebody
I was
else.
right next to you. But there you go. Look, look.
just last thing, even a 1-year-old, when it's facing frontwards, yes?
Yeah.
And it sees a ball come from behind, and it sees the ball bounce, what does that child do? 1-year-old.
Cry.
No,
I don't cry.
6-month-old, 1-year-old, what does it do?
They go for the ball.
It turns around to see, where did that come from?
They want to keep the ball for themselves, don't they?
Where did that come from? Because that's something inbuilt in us. And that's why Allah says in the Quran that did the universe give birth to itself? It asks you the question. Think for
Several
yourself.
answers to all that, but it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Anyway,
Okay,
pleasure.
Pleasure talking to you.
Take care.
Take care.
Right.
So,
So getting back to the question about
yours is right.
okay, just to finish this point about being one absolute being.
Yeah, go
So
on.
if there were more than one, the Quran
It
says,
wouldn't work.
you know, لو كان فيهما آلهة إلا الله لفسدتا. Had there been more than one God, there will be corruption and chaos and fasad. That's the Arabic word.
Yeah.
So as you realize from the example of a car and so, you can't have more than one absolute being. That means then, when we examine the religious belief systems, any belief which says there's more than one God, more than one absolute being, we can leave it aside because that cannot be true.
Right?
Any religion which claims that there's only one God is a religion that we can say, okay, fine, this is one candidate that we can think and examine it.
Yeah?
Yeah, good.
You'd like it better?
No,
You'd like their reasoning better?
no, potentially this is something that we can put in our examination table. But any religion which is polytheistic in its nature, we can discard it safely. Why? Because there cannot be more than one creator of our universe, so anyone who believes there's more than one creator, that religion cannot be true. We can just eliminate that. As I just said, if people believe there are 2 gods or 3 gods or 360 million gods, you know that cannot be true because there cannot be more than one absolute God.
Right?
So any religion which presents to you this belief system of polytheistic belief, you can safely put it aside. You don't have to even worry and examine it.
Right?
Good. So the answer to your question about why are there so many different religions, each claiming exclusively mine is right, is because of this reason. So let me give you first a little bit background. There is one creator, as we demonstrate that logically and rationally. This one creator created even the first very human being. And from this human being came the human offspring, human progeny. Whether you're black or white, whether you're green or whatever what color you are, I don't know. You are not discriminated against because God created you all. So God is the God of every single human being. He created them and he didn't leave them alone. This creator sent guidance with prophets and messengers throughout the time of their time in this world. Right. So human beings have been here quite a long time in this planet, right? As human beings are isolated in certain nations or tribes and localities, God raises from among them a prophet, a guide, a messenger to tell them what they should believe, what they should do and what they shouldn't do, right? Yeah. So from the very beginning, this message has always been the same and the same one message, that you are created for a reason and you have to fulfill that reason. And if you don't, then you will suffer some consequences in the hereafter, because there is another life after this. So this has been a consistent message, that one creator, submit and worship and glorify and show gratitude to this one creator. But what happened was this: as time went, certain people didn't like that idea of submitting to this one true God, because it went against their interest. For example, let me give you an example from today. If from tomorrow the parliament wants to legislate, all the pubs should be banned from tomorrow.
All the what should be
Pub,
banned?
pub.
Oh, pub, yeah.
No more alcohol.
Yeah.
Industries should all be closed and destroyed. Do you think they can pass this law? There will be uprising and revolt.
Yeah, it wouldn't get passed.
It won't get cut. Why? Because it goes against the interest of a lot of people.
They'd lose a lot of money.
Not because of that, because it goes against the interest of people. They say, I want to drink, I want this pub, what can I do on Friday afternoon? I'm dead
It would go
without it.
undercover. It would still exist.
Yeah. So, as you can see, people's reluctance to give away, even though alcohol or alcoholism is actually the heart of a lot of our societal problems. But people still want to drink alcohol, okay? Because their desire is to be happy, and alcohol somehow
like
makes
it,
them happy. Good.
They're friends.
So likewise, when the guidance of God came towards different nation societies at any time, there was legislations, rules and guidance how to conduct your affair. Like, don't cheat, don't lie, don't murder, don't rape, for example, like this. But there are some people who thrived in cheating because they want to get more money, and the only way to do that is to deceive you and exploit your weakness and so on and so forth. So they will try to somehow suppress this message, and if they tried and had the political authority to do so, they can change this message. So the message of God gets changed like that. So what happens then is the original message of God gets corrupted by the people. And you now have a religion which doesn't show the pure form what it was originally. So it now has a belief saying, oh, you know what, you can believe in God, but you can believe that he has a son as well. Because they love that prophet so much, because he was born of a virgin, I'm going to call him the son of God. And then it didn't stop them there. I'm not going to just call him the son of God, I'm going to call him God the Son. And he became God eventually. So the original message of one God became God being three in one. In Christianity, for example, just to illustrate the point of Christianity. So that got corrupted. Likewise, this happened in various religions. Instead of the pure monotheism, which is called Islam.
Single God,
Yeah, the Tawheed, which is the absolute monotheism of God, absolute oneness of God, got corrupted at different places in different time. God in his mercy, he often sent many other prophets to the same nation to get them back on track, like the children of Israel. They did not have one prophet only. They had so many, one after the other. But they kept on killing them. But God sent another prophet and so on and so forth, right? So in line of all this, what happened is, the original message got diluted, corrupted, but if you examine it closely, you can still see the remnants of the original message. Like Hinduism, for example, they believe God of thunder, God of rain, God of
Not really, but I can believe they do.
Yeah, they have. Every natural forces, they deified it. But if you examine it with a deeper reflection, it tells you, Ekang Brahma Dityanasti. There is only one God. No two. No second. There is none. There is only one. So ultimately, the roots of this monotheistic belief are there, but it got corrupted by people. The difference between all of this religion and Islam is this. Islam is not a new religion. Fact number one. It is the same consistent religion that God sent throughout times, but now this religion is the final message sent to mankind from God. The final message. So it's a completion and culmination and perfection of this message. So if you now consider why, logically speaking, that doesn't get corrupted, because God has taken the role of preserving this religion because he made it final. There is not going to be another prophet coming anymore. There is not going to be another messenger coming anymore. So there is not going to be another book from God coming anymore to reinstate the corruption if it occurred in this final religion. So the final religion is uncorruptible. The final religion is preserved. So as Muslims, we are presenting to you the one and only uncorrupted, pure version of the religion of God, the guidance of God, the way of life of God, the ideology of God that everyone should follow. Everything else, Quran shows as being a guardian where the falsehood entered within it and where the truth remains. So the Quran acts like a criterion, a guardian, a muhaymin, to demonstrate to the people and their belief system where things went wrong. So if at the time of, say, Moses, the Prophet, peace be upon him, when Moses came, and I said, you know what, I'm not going to believe in you, that you claim to be a messenger of God. I'm going to follow the laws of Noah that we inherited for centuries before. Doesn't matter if it's correct or not. If I said that, then I would not have correct understanding demonstrated from me, and I would not have a salvation or be saved from the punishment that is awaiting for me if I disobey God's messenger. Because every time a new messenger came or comes, he brings about the purity, the clarity of God's message, and may bring additional laws and regulations for man to conduct their affairs. Because society often, as we know, of course not often, always changed with its needs, and new problems arose requiring new guidance. So when Moses came with new guidance, with the same consistent message, it would have been incumbent upon me, obligatory on me, to verify that he is indeed the messenger of God and then follow him. If I did follow him, then I would be successful. And when he came as a Muslim. Shocking, isn't it? He came with the religion of Islam. It's a shocking statement that to hear that, what? Moses was a Muslim, Abraham was a Muslim, Jesus was a Muslim, and they brought Islam. Is people don't understand what Islam and Muslim is. In Islam and Muslim are Arabic words, as you now realize. Islam simply means a state of surrender and submission to the will of one and only true God. And whosoever does that is called a Muslim. So if I surrender my will willingly and sincerely to the will of one true God, it makes me a Muslim. Whether I was at the time of Jesus or Moses or any time, because I am a submitter, a worshipper of one God. Okay? So all the prophets, they brought Islam, and Prophet Muhammad ﷺ brought Islam in its final form. So what we have to do and what you have to do is simple. Verify the person of Prophet Muhammad. Is he indeed the Prophet of God or not? Or is he an imposter? Just claiming to be God, and making a lot of things in the way. And the message that he brought, is he from God, the Quran, or not? What are the falsification tests to say this cannot be from God? He cannot be a messenger of God. If we apply all of this, you can eliminate again all the wrong belief about this person or this guidance, and eventually you will have no other option but to say this has to be from God. It cannot be from Satan, because he says seek refuge with God when you read that book from the accursed Satan. He's your worst enemy. It cannot be from another human being, because the Quran says no one can imitate this Quran. You cannot match a single chapter like it, let alone the whole book. So if the Prophet made this claim and not even the whole community bring this, so you can know it's not from the people. It cannot from the spiritual, because they don't even have the power and the ability to bring something like the Quran. So what is the source of the Quran? So I'm just giving you some hints how we can arrive at the conclusion that the Quran has to be this book, a guidance from God through the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His life, for 40 years of his life, he was not a prophet of God. Right. He was commissioned to be a God from the age of 40. Before that, what was his character like?
He was a good man.
Do you know what the people call? Exactly, the people called him as-Sadiq al-Amin, the one who is trustworthy and truthful. Yeah. There had no reasons to believe in him for 40 years. This is how they knew him. He can be trusted, and he was always honest. So when he brought the Quran, suddenly, why did people start believing him? Because saying you're lying? No, because what he brought was something that went against their desires and their whims. He said, don't worship these idols. They have no power to harm you or benefit you. These idols they had in Mecca, 361 of them. They made with their own hands this idol, and they